This video is sponsored by maceyloubrown.com/shop. Because if you buy original art from me, it helps support me as an artist. So definitely go to maceyloubrown.com/shop. The link is across the screen. That way, I just bumped into this. But I've got lots of paintings for sale on my shop right now, and I'm about to add another painting to my shop. So definitely check it out. I'm about to add Lavender Cosmos to my shop right now. By the time you see this video, it will already be on there. And yeah, I'll be adding lots more paintings to my shop over the next few weeks, months, years, hopefully. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. And here's the video. It's coming right now. Hi everyone. So it's been a while. I haven't vlogged in I don't know how long, and so it's going to be really strange for me to get back into I don't know. I just don't even know how to act. Like, I don't even know how to even start this vlog. But I do have a few things I want to talk about today. And the first thing I want to discuss is how excited I am that I sold an 11 by 14 inch painting weekend before last, as of the recording of this video. And it's been awesome because I made some sales before that, but they were small. So this is one of the biggest sales that I have made so far. So it is definitely a really great milestone in my art business, and I don't know, I'm just really excited, so I wanted to share that with you guys first. Second, I have decided to add another facet to my Patreon page. So if you guys are patrons and you're watching this, there will be another part of this video that only you guys get to see. It will be on my Patreon page, and it will be the more real and raw emotions and things that I've gone through the past 2-3 weeks, I guess, in my art business or in my life in general, very personal, and just really raw and open. So I'm going to be talking about that in that video. So if you guys want to see that really inside look into everything that I've been doing lately the past couple weeks, definitely check out my Patreon page, because you can see that for only $1 pledge. But anyway, back to this video. I haven't vlogged in quite a while. I would say maybe a month, maybe longer. But the reason is, honestly, I don't even know what the reason is, other than the fact that I've been really busy in the new studio, and as you can see, I'm in here, and I do plan to show you guys around, even though I already came out with a video that kind of showed you the end process and a quick glance around. But today I will show you in this vlog more of the space. It has changed a little bit since the last, since that studio tour video, so you'll get to see a lot more today. I think that the main thing I want to discuss is just like an overview of the basic things that I've gotten done the past few weeks. So the thing that I'm really, really excited about, and I'll show you guys in a clip right here, I hung up my artwork. Finally, I hung up my artwork, my recent artwork, up in the new studio down here in the basement. And I am so excited about it because I had a gallery wall of my own artwork upstairs in that space, and I kind of let it go. It kind of got chaotic. Things were out of date. The art was out of date. It was older work. And now I finally have my most recent pieces hung up. But I think another thing about vlogging, you know, just switching back to that topic, is I just didn't really know what to tell you guys. I didn't really know what to vlog about. I felt like I vlogged so often for so long that I kind of, it's not that I really burnt out and didn't like it. I enjoy vlogging. I enjoy talking to the camera and talking to you guys, because ultimately that's what I'm doing. Sometimes I have to remind myself, I'm not talking to an object, I'm talking to you guys. And so if you see me like switching my eyes back to the lens, then you know why, because I'm constantly reminding myself of that all the time. So I think the thing about vlogging is I ran out of creative things to talk about and vlog about. I just did. That's just a fact. But the great news is I'm vlogging right now and I have more to talk about. So I think that I want to cover a few basic things. I want to talk about where I'm at with my art right now, number one. How I feel like I got here, number two. And where I want to go moving forward, number three. So where I'm at with my artwork right now. Well, last week into this week, I was kind of in an art rut, not in the fact that I wasn't making art, because I actually was actively working on art constantly. But it was more of like, everything I made I was just really not happy with. And the steps of the process, while very satisfying and fulfilling as usual, you know, just putting brush to canvas or brush to gesso board and putting the brush in the paint, very fulfilling. Love it, as usual. But the results that I was getting were just driving me crazy. And I think that something that I talk about, and I'm not the one that came up with this idea, I've seen it around the artist community, so I'm not taking credit for this at all. And I wish I remember who I first heard this from, because I don't. And but again, I'm not taking credit for this, but remember, your art journey is gonna have bumps in the road, and it's gonna feel like a roller coaster at times, because you are going to improve your skill set, but your eye for flaws, your eye for catching flaws, is also going to improve. And I think the past couple weeks I have felt the heat of that. So everything I was making, I was just like, I'm just not feeling it. This doesn't feel like this is coming out the way that I want it to come out. And so I just remembered that, hey, maybe my eye for flaws is improving, but my skill set needs to catch up again. Because I think that's how it works. I think that our skill set improves, and then our eye improves, and then our skill set improves. So that little window of time when our eye is ahead of our skill, it's rough. To say the least, it's rough. So if you're an artist having art block, or you're in an art rut, maybe that's why. Maybe your eye for flaws is ahead of your skills. But that's okay. That doesn't mean you've gone backwards. That actually means you are still going forwards. Your eye is tricking you into thinking you're going backwards. So that's not to say to ignore your flaws. Actually, the way to improve even further is to pay attention to your flaws, because you want to see what is actually sticking out to you. What's wrong with this piece of art, you know, according to your brain or your eye or whatever. Is it the proportions? Is it the anatomy? Is it the color scheme? Or is it just some other technical thing about the artwork? Because I think it's really important to remember that you can improve these things. It's not like the end of the world if you find a flaw. So anyway, the second thing I wanted to discuss is, how did I get here? And I think that that's like a really complicated question that I can't cover in this vlog completely, but I can touch on it. And I think that just having more time to work on art has helped me improve at my art. Having more time to work on my art has helped me improve at my art. And if you're somebody who literally, like, you have almost no downtime, but you have a little bit of downtime, what are you doing in your downtime? Because if you are really passionate about art, I really, really want to encourage you to use the downtime for art, if you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, you know, you can probably think of it as your recreation, your recreational time. So I think that just over this past, it's not been a full year yet since I've quit my job, but it has been almost a year. It will be a year in about a month and a few days. I think that over this past year, or almost year, since I've had so much more time, it's helped me to improve so much faster than I would have. That's not to say you need to run out and quit your job. No, that's not what I'm talking about. And I've even talked about this on my Twitch channel. Don't just make the leap without some kind of safety net. You want to have savings saved up, you want to have a plan or some kind of idea of, like, if you fail, what you're going to fall back on. And if you don't know what you're going to fall back on, at least tell yourself what you're going to have to do in order to make money again. Have some kind of thought process or plan in place, as well as savings. So, but, you know, that's a whole other topic, a whole other video for another day. But I think that, like, I needed it though. Like, I personally needed to quit because I needed this time. I needed this time to improve. I needed this time to explore. I needed this time to focus on marketing. I needed this time to focus on sales. I needed this time to focus on my website. I needed this time to focus on creating content for you guys. I needed time to kind of wrangle all these things together because it was really chaotic for me to work 40 hours outside somewhere, not outside, but like outside the home, and then come home and be really tired at the end of the day, and not really want to paint because I'm so tired. And sometimes I would paint anyway. I would push through it. I think that's really important. I think that at the same time you need breaks. Like, your body is going to need a break eventually, so nip that in the bud when you can. Take a break. But I think that this was really important to me, and not everybody needs this amount of time. I think, like, I just really needed hours upon hours to hone my craft. And to be honest with you, when I first quit, I kind of had my focus all over the place. I had my focus on everything at once. I had my focus on marketing, I had my focus on YouTube, I had my focus on painting. But painting was kind of one of the things. And the thing that I've done ever since I moved down here, really, so the past maybe 2 months or so, the main difference has been I've put painting as my priority over all the other stuff. And second to painting has been sales and marketing. So if you are wondering where to put your, I don't want to say put your eggs in the baskets because that's a little different, but if you're wondering where to put your priorities when it comes to making an art business, like if you're actually trying to sell your art and it's not just a hobby, if you want to know some tips, I'd say really focus on your skill level and making your art, working on your art, honing your craft, number one. And then number two, focus on marketing your work, talking to people about your work, selling your work. And I don't just mean like on social media. Like, text people about your art. Like, I know it may sound like you're bothering people or whatever, but I promise you, if someone has already shown interest in your work, you're not bothering them by reminding them, hey, that piece you really like, it's still available if you're interested, you know. That doesn't mean that you're texting them every day, like, are you gonna buy it? Are you gonna buy it? But just remind them every now and then, if you're still interested, it's still here. You know, just kind of keep the door open. to talking with people and meeting with people and interacting with people. And I think that that's something I've really had to like push myself with, because I never wanted to be pushy, I never wanted to be salesy, and I never wanted to be like rude about it. So I'm definitely coming from a place of somebody who didn't used to try to sell their work like at all. Like, I had no understanding. No clue. No understanding how to sell anything. I still feel like I'm new at that part, but I think that I've learned a lot about that part, and I think it's really important. I think it's like way more up on the list than a lot of artists want to admit. Like, I think that a lot of people kind of downplay that and like don't really talk about it that much, and I think that they're trying to be a little bit I don't know what the right word is. I think they're just trying to kind of be careful about a line that they don't want to cross. But I think that like it's really important to put yourself out there, and you know, if somebody is like you know, thanks but no thanks, then that's like the worst. That's not that big of a deal. That's probably the worst that could happen out of telling somebody, hey, you know, that artwork that you really love, it's here, it's ready, you know, what do you think? So yeah, that's really what I wanted to say about that. And then the third thing where I want to go in the future with this is I really, of course, want to get better at my skill level and my craft and my ability to paint and the level at which I paint at. I always want to improve that, and so I'm really going to try to keep pushing forward with that, and I have lots of paintings in the works. This painting recently finished. The painting on this side behind me almost finished, but not done just yet, but very close. I only have a couple little things I want to do to that one, and then it'll be ready as well. And another thing that I want to touch on, I've probably talked about before, definitely talked about it on Twitch. By the way, if you aren't following me on Twitch, you totally should, because it's a blast. We have a lot of fun. I also have my own Discord server, so if you want to join that, you can as well. I'll try to have some links in the description for you guys. But I think the thing that I've really talked about a lot is that I like to work on multiple pieces at once. I think it helps me out a lot, because when I'm stuck on a piece, and maybe it doesn't happen, maybe I end up, you know, working on a piece all the way through and the other two are just sitting there like barely started. That's fine. It's really just as a backup in case I get so stuck on a piece that I can't push through it. That means I'll have one or two other pieces, maybe three other pieces to fall back on, to work on while I'm stuck on the other. And even though the piece to my left right here was a giant challenge for some reason, I mean, a giant challenge, I was struggling. But I think that I am liking it. I'm liking it a lot more now. I actually have a smile on my face when I look at this piece now, and I was really struggling with it. And I think that, you know, sometimes you've got to start over on a piece, and sometimes you've just got to push through. So I think a lot of artists need to learn kind of the intuition behind it. Like, is this a piece I need to just paint over and start again? Is this a piece I need to just push through? I think that for me, 9 times out of 10, I end up just pushing through it. And then that 1 time out of 10, I paint over it. So if that gives you any insight into how that goes, I usually push through, but there have been occasions I've painted over. If you've recently watched my painting video called Dimension, that piece is a paint over. It used to be a whole different artwork, and I gessoed over it. And the reason I gessoed over it instead of just painting over it is it was originally oil, and I ended up painting over it with acrylic, and I wanted to make sure I did it right, so I used gesso first, because pretty sure you're not supposed to put acrylic over oil, but I mean, I guess I could be wrong. So I gessoed it several layers just to make sure it would be okay. So anywho, but yeah, that's one of the few things I've painted over in a while. But I do have a couple old pieces that I really don't like pieces I hate from like 2 years ago that I'm thinking about painting over. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how it's gonna go, but, and I don't even know if I'll get to it because I have a lot of paintings going on. But you know what? Let's take a little tour of the studio. Okay guys, so this is my crazy little setup for my Patreon video. I've got my light facing the gallery wall. But I need to move it because I need it back where it was. So yeah, anywho, I just wanted to show you guys around the studio. I have a new chair. Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys, I was able to get that chair because of Twitch, because of my Twitch subscribers and my donators, and you guys are awesome. If you're one of my Twitch followers, I love you guys. Mwah. But yeah, I'm in the studio. As you can see, this is what the studio looks like with me just like waltzing around it. Yeah, and my computer space is back there. Hold on, let me actually get closer. My computer space is back here, my iPad, microphone, all that jazz. And I have like a little table over here for like when people come in. It's like, I normally have my business cards sitting on it, but they're missing. I don't know why. Here is my garden shed. This is my gardening supply pantry shed thing. Look at this. I've got so much gardening stuff, you guys. And then I've got tools up there on the top shelf that are like, you know, hardware for like the backs of paintings and stuff. And then up at the top I've got some books, little lockers, and I've got this little desk. This is for, it's kind of a mess right now, but these are what I prop my iPad on when I stream. And then of course my lava lamp, which is not on right now, but I love this thing. And you gotta have your fake flowers, you know, because real flowers die, and it's sad. And more fake flowers. They just add like a beauty to the studio. And of course we've got these lights, which aren't on either right now because they blink on camera and it's really weird. And then I really love these windows. They rock. And if you look over there, I've got my gardening hat, and I've got my really cute little shelf I got from Target. I got it from like the kids section. I think it's like the pillow fort section. Of course, an oil painting up at the top, and then a gouache painting of hair kind of like on the second shelf there. And that's kind of messy, so just ignore that. And then over here, my old chair. This is the chair I used for everything, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I used that for years. I mean, it was never comfortable. And then this is a really big mess right now. When Jeremy was over this past weekend, I was teaching him some techniques for shading and stuff, and that was the area that he was set up in. And then over here is my shelf that my wonderful in-laws made for me. And so I've got like, it's mostly paintings that I can't hang up that are right here. So I've got Butterfly Queen. She's varnished. I need to frame her. And I've got Temptation right here. The only thing with this shelf is dust does get in here, so I have to dust these off very thoroughly before I do anything else with them. Here's Femme Future. Here's Red Princess. Recently finished. I need to varnish her. And then here is Ocean Heart. I actually broke part of her, but it's good that it's on the back. I was trying to put some hardware into the wood and it cracked it. So I ended up doing a different method. I put the little sawtooth or whatever thing. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, here's that shelf, and then down below it's a lot of like shop inventory, painting surfaces, old artwork. This drawing I made, it says July 2008, and so this is super old. This is 10 years old. But I still have it because my mom loves this, and I told her that since she loves it so much, I might actually repaint it, like in my current style. So, in case you guys are curious, this is what my art looked like in 2008. Okay, I have no idea what that noise was, but... And so this is what the studio looks like if I back up all the way to the steps. So lots of open space right here, which is great. And then over here is the beautiful painting that my mom and I found at a thrift store. It was framed like this and everything. And it also has a hanging hardware wire on the back. I just haven't hung it up yet because I don't know if there's a stud right there that I can hang it on. Because I was wanting to hang it right there, and I don't know who painted it. I've been trying to figure out who painted it. I did reverse Google image search. I asked people on Instagram and Facebook and all that. No one knows who painted it. Can't find a signature. If there's a signature, then it's probably hidden somewhere in the painting, or where I just can't find it, or it's behind this frame. So it's been driving me nuts. No idea who painted it, but it's beautiful, you guys. Just look at this. It is gorgeous. I love it. Look at that dress. Anywho, and then once you come around the corner, around this wall, that is where I paint. Yeah. So here's the back side of that. And, oh, I need to switch hands here. This cabinet has several things inside of it. It's got some art supplies up at the top. It's got some paper towels, some blow pops. Those are actually for like freebies for sales or patrons. And then I've got some Arteza oil paints. I've got some gesso. I've got some Floetrol. And some paintbrushes, yo. You know, all that good stuff. But yeah, I love this little cabinet. Got it at Target. You know, it matches the other one, of course. Super, super easy. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the studio right now. That's what it looks like. I've got these little paintings waiting to be worked on. This one's done painted, but it needs varnished. This one, I need to take the varnish off of it. Yeah, the new chair. Oh, and my art cart, which I don't know if I've talked about much, but you've probably seen it in videos. I freaking love this thing. I move it all around here where I need it to go. Sometimes it sits here, sometimes it sits against that wall. Just depends on what I'm working on. And this genie painting, by the way, is actually going to be a giveaway painting. It's an oil painting. And assuming that it comes out well and looks good when I'm done, hopefully, it will be given away to someone on my Instagram. So definitely go follow me on Instagram if you're interested in getting an original artwork from me. It's still a work in progress, obviously, right now. It's not even near done yet, but yeah, hopefully soon. And then over here, I just wanted to share with you guys, I have painting surfaces that I have written what they're going to be. So I already have them planned out. And yeah, for these little tiny ones, I want to have one that's an eye, one that's a mouth, one that's landscape, and one that's a whole face. So yeah, But thank you guys so much for being here. I had a blast talking to you guys and vlogging. It has been too long since my last vlog, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Have a great day. I don't know why I paused there. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is where you are at, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, guys. So before I go, I just want to shout out my patrons. They're on the screen right now, and I just want to thank them so much for supporting me. They're always so super kind and sweet, and they help me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for being patrons.